Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. And I'm not happy right now. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today we got some things to get off our chest because this don't make no damn sense. So today we're gonna be talking about a certain person who apparently is free on the streets right now and decided they want to give us a half-ass apology. And then we gonna be also talking about some news and of some alleged rumors that may be popping up. So stay tuned for what's coming up down the pipeline. But if this is your first time listening to us, welcome. If you're a returning listener, right? Thank you and welcome back. We are so glad to have you here. Actually, we're glad to have all of y'all here. Whether this is your first time or whether you're returning, right? We're happy to have you. So, continue listening. We hope to not have you for too long. I'm lying because it may be maybe about an hour, but it's okay. It may be our standard, but you sit back, relax, grab a drink, and let's get into it. Okay. So the person that I'm talking about right now is a certain person who played Mike, the Green Ranger from Power Rangers Samurai and Power Rangers Super Samurai. What is with these samurai people? Especially the men. Like, you got a whole ass a child abuser.
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember?
Mentor G.
Oh.
I'm like, sir, this ain't new.
I thought you were talking about one of the Rangers.
No, the cast of
the cast.
Just in general. I got you.
Like, I mean, now you got a ranger out here abusing elderly people, and then want to give us a sorry ass excuse. Child, first of all,
if you can even call it that, it really wasn't. There was no accountability in that statement, if you will.
Well, the statement that Will's referring to is what Brandon's about to get into.
Right. So, I sound like one of the Rangers. Right. Oh gosh. And I also did the little arm thing too. Right. But anyway, so here we go. So this man decides he wants to give us samples of his music while also posting up some random ass mess on his page. The first thing he posted was 2 sides to every story. This is not one of them. 10 p.m. The fuck does that mean? Okay, next one. Rest in peace, one of my greatest friends, mentor, and brother, Michael Mirish. Okay, so I'm like, okay, he's grieving. Okay, all right. The last one. And this is the one that actually got under my skin, right? I hope that forgiveness is the lesson that's learned here. I owe it to my fans, my friends, and my family to seek forgiveness and show remorse. But this will not break me nor be my downfall like so many people seem to think and want. Pause. Who said that?
What?
Who said that this was supposed to be his downfall or break him? What are you talking about?
Literally nobody, but it sounds like to me, he's using the elderly abuse that poor man endured to blame it on the fact that he was grieving.
Well, we gonna get to the grieving part in a bit, but my thing is just from where I read. My thing is, this will not break me or be my downfall, like people seem to think or want. Sir, first of all, nobody was even thinking about you before you even did what you did. Let's be very clear. Like, as a matter of fact, you were people's fave from the Samurai cast. Like, you were one of the people's favorite Ranger. So really, nobody was checking for you to be doing nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you then did what you did, and now you're talking about people praying for my downfall. Who praying for your downfall?
Obviously,
Mm.
You need
Well,
boy.
your
you
downfall.
know what? I think that is, you know how even when somebody isn't being talked about, when something bad happens, that's when people start talking about stuff and when they start to like be negative. I'm sure he probably has been online and has seen what people have been saying about him. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
But and I understand that, but also like my thing is at the same time, yes, because I do understand from that side the idea of people like to like jump on hate trains and
Mm-hmm.
like make things even worse by doing what I like to call public lynchings
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where they try to completely destroy people's reputations. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I understand that. But my God, you literally went and physically assaulted someone. Nobody's going to sit here
Well,
and look
yeah,
at you and
yeah.
go, oh, wow, he just did that, but I still like him. Nobody's going to do that.
Right,
No, at
right,
least
yeah.
nobody in their right mind
Apparently,
anyway.
apparently, the comments are very positive right now. I
Oh, and they have
don't,
been.
I don't know
They
if
have
Mm-hmm.
been.
I don't know if he's filtering them or what, because like yeah, I'm not buying it.
No, and the thing is, what's so crazy is that when it happened, right around the time where it was fresh, when we were still uncovering the news, trying to figure out what was going on, like he had fans that were legit like, well, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens because I don't necessarily believe that was even him, even though we saw on the video it was bold as day that it was
Oh,
him.
we were like,
Yeah.
it was definitely
You
him.
could tell
It
by
was
his
him.
walk.
You
His
can tell by
waddle.
that duck walk he got,
Yeah, that waddle.
like that little waddle he got going on. Like it's him. And it's just like, but no, because we don't know if that's him or not. Then we figure out it is him. Well, let me make a random excuse for him. No, he had people that was on his side, definitely. But my thing is, it's like I want to know where what he's talking about in terms of people like wanting to like have his downfall or whatever. Because my thing is, most people with good sense was literally like, dude, you did a fucked up thing. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
deserve everything that you get. Like, you deserve all the energy that you get from what you did. Like, nobody's sitting here trying to destroy you or trying to make sure that you never work again or any type of mess like that. But it's just you deserve to pay the time for the crime. That's what everybody was basically saying. But like Will said, dude, you didn't take any accountability. The first line of this whole thing should have been, I'm sorry for pushing that old man down over a parking space. That's what they should have read. Like, what? No, all this. Child, let me keep reading because it's only going to get worse as I keep going. So then he decides to say, "This did not bring back my friends who died days before, but it's my duty as a father and a public figure to make things right." This is the part that Lena's talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like Lena said, that that ain't got nothing to do with what you did. Like, take some accountability. Take some accountability for your actions. You hurt someone. Like, you could have seriously caused major bodily harm to this man because you can tell he was old and fragile. You could have actually harmed him, all because of a stupid ass parking space. Like, listen, I understand grief affects everybody differently. Like, some people cry, some people drink, some people, and I'm people because I drink when I'm grieving. Like, I will toss it back. But like, some people drink, some people throw things. Some people cry. Like people, everybody has different methods of grieving, but you still have to deal with whatever consequence that comes after it. Hell, when I'm grieving and I'm sitting here tossing drinks back, I wake up the next day with a hangover and now I'm sitting here crying because my head hurt. I have to deal with the consequences.
Wow.
I have to deal with the damn consequences. It's the same thing. You can't go out here hurting people because you're grieving and then not expect to deal with the consequences.
Mhm.
Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Then he goes on to say, I've been hiding. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been hiding and never have been.
You
I've been
weren't.
refueling.
I was about to say, Coco couldn't find him.
Not this you were. Child. Okay, because clearly, like you jumped off of social media fast as fuck. Just stop playing. Stop playing with us. I've been refueling. My mother raised a good God fearing man, apparently, who likes to push down old people, with a heart, passion, and the will to never give up. All for all for all those. Wow. Let me repeat that. I'm going to read this slowly because I feel like I'm about to get an aneurysm. All for all those who were quick to judge. Wow, he meant for all those instead of that first all. For all those who were quick to judge, hate, and send death threats. First of
Mm.
all, who sent death threats?
I mean, we don't know, right? We're not in his DMs,
Right,
so
we're not his DMs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah, right,
like,
right.
I
I'll
you
hold a
know
little
what,
space for
and
that because that's crazy.
I was just about to say, and you know how the fandom can get, like they're so quick to turn on you too.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean
Yeah.
turn on you, as in
Yeah,
like we are calling for
like the
your
way they
head,
turn so
pitchforks
fast,
and everything.
right? The way they turn so fast, I swear they're like in the movie The Exorcism.
No, for real. Like they would turn this into a freaking Salem witch trial.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
Yeah.
witchcraft. Witch. And now all of a sudden you burn on the damn stake all because you learn how to create damn fire. Like the fuck? Like
Oh
shit.
god. So this
Like
fandom, honestly, this fandom is also like, what's the word for it? Like we're not also not innocent. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not
Yeah, no,
no,
we're
not
not
at
at
not
all.
innocent
all.
at all.
Not at
So
all. Not at all. Like that's why I say some of this stuff I can hold a little space for, right?
yeah.
Especially for that. Because like I do understand. Like sometimes the fandom can go like 0 to 1,000. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Like y'all wilding. But at the same time, also, like, nah, like there's no accountability.
No. None on his side whatsoever. And it's such Brandon and I were kind of talking about this earlier. I'm not gonna get too into depth what we talked about earlier, but pertaining to the situation, it's just so unfortunate because like I, being like a role model, being this, being it sounds really stupid when I say it out loud, but basically being a Power Ranger in this fandom, you are a role model. People look up
Mm.
to you,
Yeah.
and to have a former Ranger not follow or not abide by what he preaches in his character,
Mhm.
um, and to his children, I'm sure, because he has kids now. Um,
Mhm.
it's it's really sad.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's very important for the fandom who are, I would say, a majority adults now to separate the art from the artists and realize that these people played characters. They
Well,
did a job
well,
and they are not those
well.
people.
Unfortunately, you and I both know 95% of the time they are the same people to the fandom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I think that there's some people that try to uh I guess keep that going when they're doing these appearances and these signings and stuff.
Exactly.
But it's like it's a shame that people can't just like just take it for what it is. They're working. They played this role that,
Like I
was an
agree.
inspiration,
Yeah,
but
like
it's like at the same time it's just like you shouldn't hold anybody up to that great standard because you'll be disappointed and it's
oh,
not really fair to that person to be held to that standard.
I mean, like, yes, I agree with you, right? But also, I think it really like blurs the line for people when you are making appearances and you are, giving inspirational speech at conventions and stuff like that. Like I remember when Brian and I went to Paramorphicon. He was there. He was very inspirational. He was, just really trying to be a good person and really just helping anyone out. And you could tell like he was genuinely just trying to do his best, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I can kind of see where the line can be blurred. And
Mhm.
and in a way, like, yes, I agree with you, right? In a sense that like we shouldn't hold people to a certain standard based on the character they play. However, it doesn't take a lot to be a decent human being with everything is like with all that's aside, like forget the fact he's a ranger, forget that he's an actor, forget all that. Just as a decent human being, like you're taking your anger out on another being, especially someone who's even older who can't defend themselves over a legit parking spot.
Mhm.
It's really not worth it, like so
No.
it doesn't take much to be a decent human being. I think that's what it comes down to, regardless of who he is, what role he possessed or did, sorry, and
Mhm.
all that, right? So bottom line is just do better, I think that's what we can all really ask for.
Mhm. And yeah, I think that also it's a shit like what happened. I'm of course not making an excuse for that because it was fucked up. That was not cool. However, there's times where, as human beings, we are not exempt from doing fucked up things sometimes. And it reminds me of coincidentally from Power Rangers from the movie, the recent movie where Jason and Kimberly had that conversation about it was something along the lines of
Like
you
your
can do a
past,
bad thing. Yeah,
yeah,
you can do a bad thing, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person.
exactly. It doesn't define who you are. And
Yeah, and it's fucked. It's messed up. Real quick, it's messed up because once again, not making an excuse for people doing bad things for him doing what he did.
mhm,
However, it doesn't necessarily. You can do something fucked up and you can atone for it. A lot of
exactly.
times in this fandom, we've seen that when somebody messes up, it's like you are just a pariah and you can never atone. And it not just in this fandom, just in general, in the
Yes.
court of public opinion, somebody screws up and it's just like,
I,
oh, you this horrible
well,
person. And that's just
what's
not.
what's crazy is that I mean, I'm gonna go back to Hector real quick, and then I want to expand on that.
Hmm. Hmm.
With Hector, I think right now what's more crazy is the fact that there's no accountability. There's
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
Boom.
Hmm.
like
That's it. That's it.
that's
That's the
what,
ticket.
Hmm.
yeah, like
Hmm.
that's what blows my mind, right? Okay, for example, like Justin Bieber, right? Totally off topic for a hot second, but it's related, I
Hmm.
promise.
Hmm.
Everyone hated him because he was like this wild child. He was going crazy. He was doing all kinds of things. Like, how dare he, right? And
Hmm.
now it's come out that he's been like literally molested and like all kinds of things happened to him as a
Hmm.
child. And now
Hmm.
that the P. Diddy thing came out, and now all of a sudden, like
There's
everyone's
grace
looking
for
at him,
him
yeah,
now.
like everyone's like, oh my God, now we get it. And that's what really pisses me off. It takes
Hmm.
something major for that to happen in order for someone to forgive him. Even though this
Hmm.
man wrote a whole song about it, talking about going to a P. Diddy party, and no one even took in the lyrics.
I wasn't aware of that. Wow.
Like, I knew, like, I think when it first came out, I heard it, and I remember thinking, like, that sounds sus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what happened, but you don't sound good, sir. And, but obviously, like, what am I gonna do, right? I'm not his mother, I'm not his manager, I'm not anyone, right? But I remember thinking that was sus because, like, especially the lyrics was like, where he was like, I went to a P. Diddy party, but I lost more than my soul because I was in it for the Ferrari. And I was like, damn.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I
So
remember
he
that
was
because,
blatant, blatant.
yeah, because it was like, it stuck with me. And I remember thinking that, like, it really stuck with me. And I remember looking back and thinking to myself, like, holy shit, that whatever he's going through, that must really suck. And then he came out with the song Lonely, and everyone's all like, oh, it was about like Selena. And I'm like, I don't think it was about Selena, but like, whatever, world. But he was really like, his lyrics was like in people's face, and no one did anything. No one said anything. And now it was like, wow, now that song hits differently. I'm like, what?
Mm.
It
Where
always hit,
were you?
yeah, it always hit the same. You just never took it in. But anyways, what I was trying to
Mm.
say is like it's funny how like the fandom won't let people fix their mistake, but they're so quick to turn on you the moment they find something else. And that's what really
Mm-hmm,
irks me, right?
mm-hmm,
It's like
mm-hmm,
one extreme to the other. It's like they cancel you for this, but then they uncancel you for something opposite. But now suddenly you're not the bad guy anymore. Or like kind of like with the whole Drake Bale. Why am I saying his name like that? Drake Bell situation, where
mm-hmm,
like he was what's the word for it? It came out that he had contact with underage girls and he was
mm-hmm,
I don't think he essayed her, but I don't remember the exact details, but something along the lines of he was definitely communicating with an underage girl. They went to
mm-hmm.
court for it and he was proven guilty, I believe. I believe. Do not quote me on this.
That sounds familiar, but he
Yeah.
just, he wasn't served with any sort of jail time.
Okay, exactly. 'Cause that's what I was thinking, right? Because I remember thinking like he didn't get anything, but I remember he was okay. So, anyways, he was proven guilty, but also look it up if just for records. But everyone was all like, "Oh my God, he was a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He was a bad guy." And then now, tell me how? What was it? Quiet on Set came out, and
Mm-hmm,
everyone
mm-hmm,
forgot what he did.
mm-hmm.
Because now he's the victim and it really
Yeah.
bothers me and it's very similar to this fandom too where it's one extreme to the next it's either no accountability or there's too much accountability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So yeah, that was my
I can
thoughts.
understand. Yeah. It
Well,
just
I
it
mean,
yeah.
what you was gonna say?
I was gonna reiterate it sucks in this situation that he hasn't shown the accountability. But it's not to say that it'll never happen. I mean, it could never happen.
It
Maybe it
could never
will.
happen.
We'll see. But it's just disappointing situation. But go on, Brandon. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that like my thing is so yes, all of the points that y'all made, absolutely. Like I agree 100%. Here is where I have my issue with the situation. It's not just the accountability thing that is getting me. That's a large part. That's like 80% of it, pretty much.
Mhm.
But then
The
I
20% of the
also,
songs.
but the 20% that
Mhm.
I have the issue with is the fact that you're using other outside things, like you're using grief
Yeah.
as your way of saying, oh, this is why I did what I did. Right.
Yeah.
And as somebody, first of all, when it comes to anything mental, I am always going to be like the forerunner for anything that is dealing with mental and emotional. Like, if you are having a hard time, go see a fucking therapist. Like, go see a doctor, go see someone, because there should be no reason. I don't care how much you're grieving. I don't care how much you're upset. I mean, this really has nothing to do with it, but I'm going to use this example. That's just like someone that's just like two people being in a relationship with each other, and then one of the partners end up being upset with the other partner because they think something might have happened, and they end up having to argue with them, and then all of a sudden decided that they wanted to put their hands on them. Just because you're upset with this person, that don't mean that gives you the right to put your hands on them. Like, find a way to deal with your displaced anger. What
Alex
is his name?
Hartman.
Alex Hartman. There we go. Just like he said in the interview, he was basically saying how, like, oh, Hector is such a great guy, but he's definitely very passionate. I'm just, I'm not quoting him, but I'm basically summarizing what he's saying. And he's like, he's very passionate. And we can tell. It's like, just from him saying what he said. I'm paraphrasing what he said basically, but you know, just from what he quoted in that interview, you can already kind of tell he has a bit of a attitude. Like, he can have a little attitude, and it's like, my guy, if you got that kind of anger or that kind of aggression, you need to see somebody. You need to see somebody, because you're like, let's be very clear. Already, from looking at this and how you handled this to the public, it seemed like it only takes another situation for you to get active again, and now you activated, and now you're ready to put your hands on somebody again. Because you don't seem remorseful.
No.
You do not seem remorseful.
He,
Like,
if
I'm
anything,
not.
he seemed very defensive and ready to fight and on edge.
Yes, absolutely. Like, that's what I got. I got very defensive. Like, and my thing is, yes, I understand. Like we said before, the fandom can be a bit much. Absolutely. But at the same time, like, you did something that was really messed up. I'm not saying that the fandom was right for what they did, because nobody should be giving you death threats, okay? Because what you did, yes, it was bad, but nobody should be calling for you to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on some other shit. Like, nobody should be calling for you to die. Like, that's crazy. But on the same token, like, don't expect for people for the whole fandom to automatically just come to your beck and call, and just all of a sudden just be like, oh my goodness, like, oh, Hector, we still love you. No, we don't. Because why would you do something like that? A, and then B, not apologize. Like, you literally did not apologize to us. All you did was give us an excuse. An apology and excuse are two different things. And you just basically sat here and played in our faces with this mess. And then you turn around and you added your MySpace song to the damn post. Like, what did you think what the fuck did you think you were doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, the whole thing, it was just so like, what is happening right now? And for you to be 35 years old, like, I feel like, as a 35-year-old, if I know better, I feel like you should. Because we both around the same age. So I feel like you should have some sort of common sense. Like, if you fuck up, it's okay to say, I'm sorry. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say I'm sorry. But what is not okay is blaming outside forces. Outside forces, by the way, that was going to happen regardless. Have you not seen the world around you right now? Everybody's dying left and right. Like, literally, how many people? I'm gonna tell you right now, the Black community is suffering right now. We have lost so many of our greats in the past couple of weeks.
Right.
Like, death is all around us right now. You don't get a pass to harm somebody just because people close to you passed away. You don't get a pass. Like, all of us are dealing with some kind of death. All of us are. Whether it's somebody we know, whether it's somebody that we were close to, whether it's somebody we looked up to, whatever it is, everybody is dealing with something. Hell, one of the managers who work at my job at a different company in another part of our district, he passed away. He literally passed away earlier this week, which sent a huge shockwave through our whole company. So like people were literally like calling out because they were grieving. Mm-hmm. Like, and I mean, this man, he was known throughout the whole company. Like, everybody loved him. So because he made an impact on everybody. He was that kind of guy. So he passed away. So of course, like, I didn't know him like that. But like I said, death is happening to everybody around us. Whether it's happening to people that we know, whether it's happening to people that, we are familiar with, whatever. But everybody is experiencing something. You don't get a pass to hurt somebody just because you had a death that happened to someone that's close to you. Like, that's not okay. Learn how to deal with your damn emotions. Like, we too old for this. Learn how to deal with your shit. Now, I'm off my soapbox. Let me finish this. So, for all those who are quick to judge, hate, and sending death threats, I truly forgive you, and I would like to show oh my God. I would like to show you the man I truly am. Sir, before you write anything, please proofread.
Or use ChatGPT.
Well, I mean, I feel like ChatGPT will probably have given us a much better apology than this.
I mean, remember, it wasn't an apology, so ChatGPT would not.
Listen, you're right. But at least they probably would have made it feel like an apology instead of just like, hey, hey guys,
remember,
I'm just here.
He could be like, make this sound more heartfelt, make this sound more sincere, make this sound more, like you could tell ChatGPT to like amp it up.
Amp it up,
Oh my God.
But he goes to say, not by words, but by actions. Idaho, I still love you, even if Idaho hates Hector, end quote.
Who's Idaho?
That's what he was.
I think that's where it happened.
Yeah, that's where it happened.
Oh.
So I guess what Power Rangers fans in Idaho hates
Power Ranger fans in Idaho hates them. That's hilarious. Actually, that's actually kind of funny. Not gonna lie,
really
that's
is.
actually
wow.
funny. Like, Idaho hates this man. That's fucking great. Like,
what the hell?
Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck you, Hector. We hate you. That's hilarious. I don't know. That's just funny to me. That's great. That's actually funny. Oh shit.
That really tickled me. Wow. Okay.
And then what did he say? He said, "Trust me, I'm more resilient than Henry. Henry will ever be." Who's
Lord
Henry?
Jesus. That guy, the Wendy Williams of the Power Rangers.
Not the Wendy Williams of Power Rangers. Oh my gosh.
Remember,
yes.
we sent, well, I've sent clips.
Yes, you sent clips because I don't watch your shit. Oh, that came off kind of nasty. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just seeing if Lena might have remembered.
Oh, is it
okay.
the clips that you were sending? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't watch this stuff. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't watch it. And it's no shade. It's no shade. I just don't watch it. But But yeah, like this whole thing is just like it's a mess.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I saw this, I was like, yeah, we gonna talk about this because no, you can't get out here and just be doing some crazy shit and then be like, I'm gonna post my SoundCloud link
I
and let you guys
mean,
listen to my tunes while
I
I fake
mean,
apologize. Like what?
he obviously did, and unfortunately, a lot of people are eating it up. 'Cause-
Eating it
Yeah,
up.
because like I was mentioning earlier is that like it is very positive, or maybe yeah. Anyways, it was very positive. I don't know if he's blocking it. I don't know. Like I don't know, right? But they're eating it up. They're loving it. They're just. I'm
It,
I'm just shocked.
it was something that got me. And I think we talked about this on a previous episode. When it happened, and before he ever said anything about what happened, there were people that were saying, "You can never make me hate Hector." And it's like, did
Mhm.
anybody even ask you anything? Nobody said that. So what are you
Nobody
talking
even said
about?
anything. Nobody said nothing to you. Nobody said nothing to you, boo. And what was so funny to me, what really cracked me up was that one poster who was on Twitter who basically said the same thing. And this was long after it happened. And he went viral basically for saying it. And like basically the whole fandom just like dogpiled him. It was just like, well, the fandom on Twitter just like basically dogpiled him. It was just like, what are you talking about, dude? Like this guy definitely committed, like he committed assault. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna defend him because I like my Hectors. And I'm just like, oh gosh, like, go away, dude. Like, like my thing is if you want to publicly be like, yeah, I support someone who's out here abusing people, you have every right to. Trust me, like this is a free country. You can do whatever the hell you want, but also recognize that yeah, if people all of a sudden want to dogpile you and talk shit about you, you kind of open yourself up to it.
Yeah.
So like there you go. But yeah, so that's enough about that guy.
Sorry.
Um Also, so pretty much this is like almost the last thing that we have. So allegedly
Okay.
there are some new Funko Pops that are coming out.
Oh, I just heard about that.
Now, they are not official. Let me just go ahead and make that very clear. They are not official. So apparently they are from a completely different brand. And basically with this brand, they are pretty much like the movie version of the Funko Pops. So they're
Mm.
doing So it's the Red Ranger, Pink Ranger, Blue Ranger, Black Ranger, Yellow Ranger, White Ranger, Ivan News, and 6-inch Ninja Megazord. I was like, what am I looking at? So apparently, coming next year, this came from the Scarlet Joker. Scarlet Joker, TWT, that's the ad on Twitter. Um, they basically tweeted, coming next year, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. As always, this is early information and things may change. Nothing is official until confirmed. Funko, Funko Pop, Power Rangers, MMPR, all hashtags. So, if this actually does happen, what do you guys think about this?
I'm not
Damn,
a
like I
Funko.
think I got my answer. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a Funko Pops guy, but I know Funko Pops are extremely popular, and that movie is very beloved by 90s and 80s kids. So I think that that would be a good idea to sell. I think that that would be a hot seller actually, but it's not actually officially Funko Pop. It's like a bootleg, not a bootleg, but like a knockoff version, I guess.
yes. But not like a knockoff. But like there's like
But just
different
not
people
just
have.
not official.
Yeah, exactly. Like different people have their like different versions of like the Funko Pops. So like they're just not the brand Funko Pops,
Okay.
but they have like their own different ones. Cause like I do know that like even certain Rangers have like Funko Pops of them made,
Right.
so that I'm pretty sure that's probably what this is. That's probably like the type of thing this is. It's not like Funko branded, but they're basically like pops, and they're probably just gonna model them after that. But but yeah, like I mean, I like the idea of it. I actually do collect certain pops. Well, I collect the ones that I think are cute and that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I would probably would collect this. Now, the one that I do want to see though is that 6-inch Ninja Megazord because we all know that thing was fugly as shit.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they end up making this because now if they do make the Funko Pop a metallic, like how the movie was, like how it had that metal looking metallic look.
Mm-hmm.
If they have it looking like that, I might actually purchase it because that would look cool as a Funko Pop. Not gonna lie, that would look kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, I mean, I'm really not excited for like the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan Ooze might be cute, but the Rangers, no, I'm really not all that excited unless they're like helmetless. That might be cute,
But
but other
they don't really be paying attention to the actors that much, unfortunately.
they right. That's true. That's true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, overall, I just thought that was like very interesting of a thing, and I'm just like, what? That's actually a really cool idea, which also kind of led me to want to ask, right? Like with Power Rangers kind of being on standby right now, and everybody's trying to throw their hands into the nostalgia hat, of trying to like bring back certain things because we have, of course, Toy Battalion with them making their own like
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie toys. That I have to say, I have to be honest, like after all the pictures I've seen of people buying them, they look good. Like Toy Battalion kind of ate. Like they chewed that. So I have to give them their props. Um so with all the different Ranger toys that are coming out without the show being on, like what do you guys think? Like do you think they should still stay in the well of Power Rangers, or do you think like companies should start to like step outside of Power Rangers, kind of like what is it, 03 or 30, kind of like what they're doing
Fig
with,
Zero.
yes, there we go, 30, like kind of like how they're doing it, where it's like they're visiting like each team and making like their own separate Rangers from there. So what do you think? Do you think they should just kind of like stay within Mighty Morphin or venture out?
I'm always happy when they show love to other seasons, so I wouldn't mind seeing them branch out.
I think it's great that they're doing it. And you know what? It opens up for a wider audience.
That's kind of where I was gonna go with it. Like, I think that for me, and I know this is probably gonna piss some people off, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Mighty Morphin is probably your best bet, and I say this.
Yeah.
I say this, and trust me, I would love to get other seasons, right? Like I would love to get other seasons. I would love to see other seasons be done, other toys, like toys from different seasons, Funko Pop, unofficial Funko Pops from other seasons. Like, I would love all that stuff, right? But the thing is, Mighty Morphin is the one that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows it, everybody remembers it. Like, even when there's um, like, for example,
Mhm.
even though, right, we had the most recent season, Dino Fury. Well, Cosmic Fury, to be honest. Cosmic Fury. Cosmic Fury, as we reported last episode, Cosmic Fury ended up performing really well towards the end of the year. Towards the end of I think it's like the fourth quarter or something like that of this year. So I have to go back and look, but basically the numbers are still really high for people watching Call of Fury. And I say this to say that even though it's getting a lot of clicks and views on on Netflix, how many of them clicks and views came from us, the fans, versus actual people who've never seen the show before and was like, "Oh, let me watch this thing because I didn't even know this existed." You
I
see what
mean,
I'm saying?
there's really no way of finding out that info
There's
unless,
not.
yeah.
No, that's not my point. Like, my thing is like, of course, there's no real way of figuring that out. But hypothetically, it's like for the most part, more than likely, those views came from fans, not from random Joe Blows who was like, "Let me just go ahead and turn on Power Rangers today." Like it's not that thing. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure that probably happened. I'm not discounting it, but the rate at which that happened versus it probably 9 times out of 10 being a fan, it probably 9 times out of 10 was a fan. So my thing is, at the end of the day, if you really want to tackle a large audience of people and you really want to sell Power Rangers, you go to the thing that everybody knows. It sucks because obviously the fans, we over here like craving stuff from like other seasons. Hell, I'm over here like, when the hell we gonna get to damn Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force?
Mhm.
Because it just seemed like them motherfuckers don't ever get no damn love. Like, I mean, it's it's almost kind of like shit. We just skip over the post Zordon era, and like once we stop at in space, all of a sudden we go straight to Disney. It's like
Yeah.
when it
Yeah,
comes to merchandise.
it's crazy. I actually was thinking about that earlier in the week. Um One of the things that I was thinking about actually was I'd be thinking about Power Rangers so randomly most of the time. But just as far as promoting other seasons, and we talked about this before too. Like, I wonder when it got to a point of just not promoting the shows as heavy as they could be. Like, I was thinking about it'd be really interesting to see or hear from fans that their first season was Lost Galaxy or their first season was Lightspeed or Wild Force or something like that. You don't really hear that. You always hear about Mighty Morphin, or you hear about now Samurai, because those kids are grown now. So it's just like I do wonder, like, when somebody sees, they go to a toy store, or well, I guess not a toy store, a Walmart or a GameStop or something like that, a comic book shop, and they see a Zeo toy, or they see an In Space toy, or they see a Dino Thunder toy. Like, I wonder what comes to their mind, like how many people really do remember that, because we never hear about it really.
No, and we definitely don't hear about other people's experience in terms of like like you said, like what their first season was, or for the most part, like it always interests me when someone says, "Oh, my first season was Samurai," or "My first season was
Jungle Fury.
Ninja Storm, Jungle Fury," something like that. And actually, shouts out to Jared from No Pink Spandex. He pretty much asked a question like that, where he was like, "I really do want to
Right,
know."
right, 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 right.
People who actually asked, like actually asked people who whose first season wasn't MMPR, like how how does it feel when you're actually looking at MMPR? After
Yeah, I
watching
remember
another season at that, with that being your first, how do you view MMPR?
that. Hmm.
And I saw so many various answers, and
Hmm.
like they were all different. They were all very interesting, and I'm just like, this is the type of voice that I would like to hear. Like, I want to hear the voices of people who are like, no, MMPR wasn't my favorite, or MMPR wasn't my first. MMPR, I respect it. Like, I think it's cool that, this was the first one, but my first was, Mystic Force, or my first was Mega Force, or whatever. So it's like, I'm over here like, fuck that old shit. I don't care. Like, no, I'm over here like loving the new shit, which I'm like, to me, of course, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy, but at the same, but at the same time, like, I'm really not gonna look at you like you're crazy, depending on what season it is. I'm not gonna look at you like you're crazy, but like, but for real though, like, I do want those voices to be heard too, because us old heads be dominating the conversation
Yeah.
when it comes to, MMPR being the best. Like, we be dominating the hell out of that conversation. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't want those voices to get lost either. You know?
Mhm.
Because this fandom is made up of people of all ages, not
Mhm.
just people who were alive in '93 who were sitting at the TV watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it ain't just us. It
Yeah,
ain't just
yeah.
us who's here. So that's why I'm like, I would love to hear some of those other voices. But yeah, I really want to do a temperature check and just kind of get y'all's opinion on that, because I really want to see like more of that, like more voices and like more opinions coming from like other seasons. Granted, like, and also too, I kind of want to see what people thought of those seasons too. Now, I didn't go back and watch it because you can't pay me to go back and watch Samurai, but like in the comment section, the way some of them people were talking about Samurai, you would have thought Samurai was a like one of the best shows that they've ever seen.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, it kind of made me want to go, well, let me go back and watch this show then, kind of see what it's giving. I'm not, but
I, you know what? I think it's probably a similar thing to what we thought about, or a lot of people thought about Mighty Morphin when they were kids, because that was the first thing that they saw. So it could be the nostalgia
Mhm.
talking. I think that there were things that were really charming about Mighty Morphin. Um, Whereas when watching Samurai, it was just I was 21 at the time, so my taste was different, and what they gave us for that season just was it wasn't the best quality.
You can say it sucked.
Yeah,
It
like there
sucked.
was
You can say it.
it's really a shame because I just remember all of the hype for it. I remember the previews. I remember how beautiful it looked because I think it was our first HD season,
It was.
and
Hmm.
they had
It
all of
was filmed
that.
in 4K.
Wow, And they had all of that promotion too.
No, I'm lying. It wasn't filmed in 4K. It was filmed with a red camera. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was filmed with a red camera, which can be used for HD. That's what it is. Yes. Okay. I had to think back to the press releases. Oh, child, I can't believe I still remember that.
Wow. And it was just like they had so much promotion too. Like
Yeah.
that they had some of the biggest rate they were getting millions of viewers every week.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a shame they had all of that, but the people in charge didn't know how to grow it and evolve it. And that's something that I've been saying for years. That's so interesting that when we were kids and we were growing up, they really were growing the show, but they just weren't
Right.
promoting it. And then you have all that promotion for something like Samurai, but like no actual growth with the content and the words are escaping me right now. Like the inner workings of it. I can't think of the word. Ugh. But like they just, it could have it could have been better if they just put more effort into it and like realized that, you know, you can have something that's geared towards kids, but you don't have to insult them and then insult the other people that could be watching as well. Because a lot of times, obviously we know this stuff that's geared towards kids, like that can be something for everybody.
Right.
But it seems like they just didn't grasp that, and they just gave the lowest common denominator of programming.
And that's the thing. It's like when you literally just sit there and you just give people nothing. It's like, I mean, you give them something, but it's like, if you're not going to like really be all like excited for it, because here's the thing, right? The whole thing was, and this is one thing that Hector said in a post. Well, I think he said in like an interview or something like that, or whether he was on a panel or something. But basically, what he was saying was that um, he, how can I put it? Oh gosh, I'm just lost my train of thought. Yes, never mind. I remember. He was saying that when they first auditioned for the show and they got the parts and everything, Samurai was actually going to be more serious, and it was
Mm-hmm.
going to be a lot more like had a lot more drama and stuff like that. And then at the last minute, they came to them and told them that, oh, they're going to dial it down.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, now, of course, in an alternate world, I would have loved to have seen what Samurai would look like serious, and then also what kids would think about it once they seen it like that. Like, would they have still thought about it the same way? Would they feel the same way? Would they like it? Would they, like, how would they feel about it versus, it being like, oh, this is Fisher Price Rangers, where it's like, this is Rangers K, like kindergarten and up, like this is for them. So, I'm wondering how that would have looked if had they just went ahead and said, no, we're going to go ahead and stick with this and make it serious. But of course, we'll never know, obviously. But, it's just always something that I just always would like to have known. Like, okay, if y'all going to do this, like, really let us have it, because like you said, the show looked beautiful. It was beautiful to look at. Like the colors pop because it had that rich, like HD display. Like the colors look good, the suits look good. Like they added some money into the show, like with the
Mm-hmm.
sets and everything. Even the cockpits. And I know people don't like them, don't like the cockpit because it was all gray and people were like, "Where's the color?" Listen, I actually like the cockpits. Okay,
I
the
mean,
cockpits were actually kind of fire. I like them
it's
personally.
just it's a shame that they just recycled it for what 6 years, 7 years,
Right, like
longer
literally,
than
like
that.
they really did recycle those cockpits like a lot. Like I'm literally just sitting here like, why are we having the same cockpit over and over and over? Like this is crazy. Um, but yeah, like I would have loved to have seen this show be a little more serious or whatever, or hell, at least step outside of the box of being directly just like its Sentai counterpart. But that's a story for another episode.
Brandon, didn't you send us the trailer for the new Sentai?
Oh shit! Yes, did y'all watch it?
I did.
No,
It's giving me RPM vibes.
Okay, yes, that because that's okay. So what I shared in the chat, right? For the people at home. So basically, on today's episode of Boom Boom Jer, they went ahead and they, at the time of this recording, this is the same weekend that Wright from Tokyo Jer, the train Sentai that everybody thinks is ugly, that the Red Ranger from that season came on this week's episode of Boom Boom Jer. And they showed the preview to next week's episode where they become the champion Boom Boongers. The champion Boom Boongers are the ones with the race car jackets added to the suits, and it's supposed to also level up their powers. So
wow,
they are
okay.
introducing those jackets next week. I
Hi.
personally,
I like them.
I love them.
I like them
Oh
a lot.
my
I
god.
don't get it.
Those jackets, what you say, Will?
I don't get it. I wasn't a fan of the way the suits looked, and now their power up jackets. Okay.
So I kind of get it because they're leaning into like they're not even leaning like they're really like putting their whole backs into it. Like they're really going for the race car theme, for the racer theme. So like of course you have like your different Formula One racing jackets and stuff like that. Like so I get it. I get what they're doing. Um, I'm not gonna hold you. I want those jackets. I really do want those jackets.
Same.
Like they are
Same.
so beautiful to me. I'm like, ah. And this is something I've been seeing for a very long time. Like I know people will fact check me on this. I'm not talking about Super Sentai when it comes to samurai with them with the black box and them getting the jacket capes. I'm not talking about them. Okay, I'm not talking about them. The kind of jackets that I'm talking about are the ones like what the Boom Boongers are wearing, or very akin to like if you know anything about Kamen Rider Ghost, where he had like where his whole gimmick was each coat symbolized a different power up. So I like stuff like that, where it's like the coat is like a separate thing, but it's still a part of the main costume, but it's just it's like a separate thing. I love that look. Like I love the look of like a regular schmegula degula looking jacket on like on a ranger suit. I think that's fire, personally. I think that's really dope. Hell, if all of a sudden they bust out and gave the Rangers hoodies on Ranger suits, oh bitch, I would lose my fucking mind. Like if the Rangers all of a sudden got hoodies, oh baby, like I would go crazy because like I love that kind of stuff. Like the more retro and um like casual they look in their ranger suits, the better to me. Like I actually fucks with it. I think it's cool. So the fact that they added like those jackets, and then also that metal baby blue that's in it, that as an accent color looks so good on those jackets, and it fits everybody. Like there's always that one color, that one thing that Power Rangers will or Sentai will do in their designs, where they'll like make an accent color, and sometimes it doesn't work for everybody, but you just kind of get used to it. This time around, that blue works perfectly for everybody. Like it just makes everybody pop. And I'm in love. I'm in love with the jackets. Will, I know you don't like them. I don't like the suits neither, right? But the jackets, wow. If they gave us those jackets originally and they made those jackets a part of their regular costume, I would not be upset. Like I actually probably would have liked the costumes more if they would have given us those jackets the first go around. Like I would have loved it instantly because those jackets are beautiful. They're beautiful.
I saw you guys talking about the jackets earlier in the week, and I didn't say anything because I didn't have anything positive to say.
Listen, don't be a hater on the jackets, okay? Don't be hating on jackets, okay? Like, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I bust out with an orange jacket, don't you say nothing. You just let me rock my orange jacket, okay? Shit, hell, depending on how much they are, shit, I'll buy all of them and just wear different ones for different outfits.
Well, Brandon, you already know it's probably gonna be like $300 each.
True, you right. Good point. And 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna stick with probably the
The yellow.
Well, no, they don't have a yellow.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
So it would be orange.
it'd be orange.
okay.
Yeah, it would have to be orange. Even though I'm not gonna lie, orange look good on me.
Your
So
orange does look good on you.
I'll take it. I'll take orange. Besides, orange is the only ranger that got ass. So yeah, like I'll definitely be orange. Like because I'm telling y'all, his stunt double, for whatever reason, like he is double cheeked up for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like why his stunt double is out here with an apple bottom, like I don't get it.
Oh my
But like he's out his stat. And I'm like, I want to be him because he got ass and everybody else flat as bricks. So I'm like, yes, I want to be him. If you made it this far in this episode, please let us know. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell whomever you want to tell. Listen. If your family like cussing, then sure, tell them. But also too, I don't want you to tell your family and then your mama end up listening to it and she like, now why the hell they sit here cussing like that? Yeah, don't tell her if she
Because
gonna
we
be
grown.
offended. But also too, we're Power Rangers podcast. So 9 times out of 10, she gonna be sitting here like,
Don't we
"Say
have
we're a Power
the
Ranger podcast."
don't we have the explicit thing?
We do. Just let your parents know ahead of time. It got cussing in it, all right? You know. But hell, if she enjoys it, shit, tell her to join in next time too. But regardless, we will be back. I can't tell you when, but we'll be back, and we will give you another episode because that's just what we do. But once again, if you've liked it, let us know. If this is your first time listening, give us a shout out and also come back for our next episode. And if you are a returning listener, you know what to do. Keep on listening because we're gonna keep on giving you the tea and giving you the entertainment. Okay? And we're gonna go ahead and bounce out. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.